A trot of 1 mile, a purse of $4,500. Here are the condition trotters. Number 1 is Cobra Sabra, owned by Gary Adams of Circleville, Ohio, trained by Jerry Kuchbach with Sandy Beatty. Number 2 is Mercedes Lad, owned and trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. of Grove City, Ohio. Brett Miller is up. The 2 is Chips Ablaze, owned by Jay and Kim Shermonte Sears of Deerfield Beach, Florida, trained and driven by Jay Sears. Number 4 is Chaplin's Rocket Man, owned by Chester Corbett of Columbus, Ohio, trained and driven by Justin Hall. Number 5 is Crossing Over, owned by David Ehrenberg II of Westerville, Ohio, trained by Jim Pollock Jr., Ron Steck. The 6 is Dinah Slick, owned by Thomas Owen Tharps and James Shengler of Ohio and New York, trained and driven by Tom Tharps. Number 7 is Michigan Dan, by Winchester Bakers Incorporated of Powell, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 8 is TGTIF, owned and trained by Dean Fraker of Delaware, Ohio. Sam Chipnoble III. From the outside of the 9 is I'm Maxed Out, owned by Fred Freppel in Napoleon, Ohio, trained by Mr. Todd Christie. Jeff Ace Nicehunger. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, ATT Princess, owned by Catherine Hawk of Orient, Ohio, trained by Lloyd Hawk. Dave Hawk is in her sulky. They're all fan trotting and firing away from the outside. There goes Michigan Dan, who's on the go, middle of the track. There's the 6, Dinah Slick. Also from the inside, there is Crossing Over. From the extreme outside, there is I'm Maxed Out, who's driving out, looking to drop in there 5th. Mercedes Lad is away in 4th. Away in 5, I'm Maxed Out. 6th there is Cobra Sabra. Got to the outside in 7th, that is Chips Ablaze. 8th along the rail, that is ATT Princess. 9th there is Chaplin's Rocket Man. And 10th and trailing the field, TGTIF and Chip Noble. Can see them all as they step by the opening quarter in a quick one. 28 seconds flat. And Michigan Dan and the K-Man onto the front end tier. But now charging up on the outside. Here's Mercedes Lad, and Brett Miller is looking for the lead here as they roll around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half, and Mercedes Lad clears to the front. Michigan Dan is yielding for a garden spot, racing in 2. Got to the outside, a long mile in 3rd is Chips Ablaze. Crossing Over trots in 4th. 5th to the outside, there is Dinah Slick. 6th along the rail on a ground-saving journey, that is I'm Maxed Out. They were halfway home in 57 and 2/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Mercedes Lad and Brett Miller leading the way here by 2 1/4 to the inside. Michigan Dan is trying to go with him, trotting in 2. First over the rim, trotting in 3rd. That is Chips Ablaze. To the inside in 4th there. That is Crossing Over. Off stride went Cobra Sabra as they wheel by 3/4 on the board in 1:26 and 3/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. And Mercedes Lad, 1-2. Punter's Choice looks to be on a mission here. Opens up by 5. Michigan Dan to the inside, could not go with him in 2. Crossing Over to the outside in 3rd. Off the turn in less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come with the lead here. Mercedes Lad, and this is an absolute rocking chair drive for Brett Miller. Mercedes Lad showing his heels to the field. Mercedes Lad finishing second was the 7, Michigan Dan. Up for 3rd was the 4, Chaplin's Rocket Man. At the top of the mile, 1:57, 1/5. Going to be greeted by Chrissy Fowd as she'll do throughout the evening. Here's the 2, Mercedes Lad, your unofficial winner, timed at 1:57 and 1. And H.O. Bakeouting by Royndon Lad, she by References. Kind of a References mare, rather, she by Speedy Clauden. Owned and trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. of Grove City, Ohio, posting the 3rd win in 2003. Nicely handled here this evening by Souderdown's leading driver, Brett Miller. The 2, Mercedes Lad and Brett Miller and Virgil Morgan Jr. teaming up here to take the early part of the daily double. It's official. 2745 is official. 27 exact returns 1980. 274 try 228.20.